No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no.
It's like talking to the cats. I feel like I'm surrounded by kindergartners all day, every day.
Practically are.
And it's just like, that's one of the,
like, 23-year-old who acts like the cats.
It is that typical, no, 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 no.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And all I did was give her a look.
Yes. And it's like, these memories keep flooding back. It's like, oh, God. Yes. For today's cup of coffee. Yeah. We're going to be talking about a documentary that is actually worth your time.
Not the other one.
Not the other one. Oh God, not the other one.
Oh no, heaven.
See the previous cup if you missed that and the rant, because it was
heaven help
my
us.
Rant was verified. Anybody else who wants to, have
it was pretty shit.
Have the courage to go forth and watch that, and then and it's okay. I don't mind somebody going, "Hey, you need to rethink this. This had this redeeming quality," And then I would go back and don't make me watch it again, but I would rethink it because it was bad.
Revisit.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, this one is good. It's called The Phenomenon, and this also was on Discovery Plus. If they want to pay me large sums of money to mention their name, that would be fabulous.
Sponsor us, Discovery Plus. No. I love you. I have paid for you for about a year now. Sponsor me and my TikTok at least, damn it.
We need to have Zach Bagans.
Bagans.
He needs to sponsor us. He needs to sponsor us.
A free trip to his museum? Hell yeah, I will take that as a sponsor.
No, just sit there and go, this is a micro mini. They've been trying for years. They're consistent. Let's help them out.
I just want to visit the museum. I want to visit the museum.
I'd be happy with a
t-shirt. I want to see the devil chair.
Let him send me a coffee mug. 20-ounce coffee mug. Whoever is insisting on these 9-ounce coffee mugs needs to be slapped.
Go on Ghost Adventures website and get the merch. I want merch.
I don't know. I want him to send us.
I want merch.
Sponsor us.
And yes, I will blow out the microphone. I want merch.
I would actually be happy with a coffee mug from this documentary, The Phenomenon. I would. And this is, you can go on IMDb. The link will be in the description box, and you can get the particulars about this. It came out in 2020 and was directed by James Fox. Who knows what the hell he's doing? This is a very enjoyable, informative documentary.
Yeah.
And it's...
we got a whore in heat in the other room, so if you hear meowing... They
didn't need to know that.
She's a bitch.
Anyhow.
I was just telling them what the sound is.
They could figure out that it was a cat. Writers Mark Barisk, James Fox, and Lance Mungia or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. These guys were good. I have only good things about this documentary. It's great as far as the whole thing is about UFO cover-ups and possible self-disclosure over the years. And they went back all the way to the 40s and the 50s. Mm-hmm. Some of the folks that were involved with Roswell that are still alive, they interviewed these folks. That was great. Just seeing these people retell what happened then, what they were told to do. The guy that they made pose, and I mean like the military made pose with the supposed weather balloon.
Yeah, which was a fraud.
Yeah, and he's old enough now he doesn't care to tell the truth about what happened.
I'm old enough, I'm ugly enough, and I'm tired enough. But he didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that at all. But that the area of wreckage from Roswell was vast. It was like so many football fields worth. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about part of the debris was this piece was 2 foot, 3 foot long or whatever.
Right.
And that it weighed as much. It almost appeared to be like the foil in a cigarette pack was how he described it.
Yeah.
They don't use that anymore, by the way.
They don't use the foil in the cigarette packs anymore?
No, well, they've just got the flip tops there. You don't have to pull out that little piece of foil in front of them.
Are you sure?
Look at your cigarette pack the next time. We are not encouraging anyone to use tobacco products.
Like when I buy the Camel Crush cigarettes,
Right.
I always have to get that little piece out.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
well, anyhow. But he said that as fragile as this material appeared, you couldn't bend it, you couldn't destroy it. He said if you hit it with a sledgehammer, it didn't phase it. It just bounced off of it.
I need a house bed out of that.
Yeah, everybody does.
Weatherproof.
And that later the military came in and it was, you didn't see anything. This is what you saw. It was all this psychological
Gaslighting.
battery. Oh, it was, it's like if you don't see this, not only will you, but your whole family will be disappeared.
Try me, bitch.
So,
I would have been like, try me, bitch.
So they had those folks. They had folks that had worked even with Project Blue Book.
Uh-huh.
To hear this, in their own words. And sometimes any of these former military people, government people, you always wonder, it's like, okay, are they telling the truth now? Is this still some kind of psyops? Is this...
It's a psyop.
Because how the hell do you know when you've got somebody that has made a career out of disinformation and then they suddenly say, oh, we're telling the truth now? You can't expect someone to not have a raised eyebrow on that.
I have a raised eyebrow on most things.
I have that Spock eyebrow perpetually these days. It's like, what the fuck?
And I shaved off the ends of my eyebrows. I could do that again. I could have the Spock eyebrows
God.
again. I'd have no... A demi-devil.
Yes, I am swigging on the coffee
A
here.
little Satan. Do
No.
a proper... I'm going to do that makeup tonight. Little Satan makeup.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Anyhow, something else that was
Go
really
on TikTok with that.
fascinating. Stop spamming my channel for your shit.
Am I saying the name of it?
That is not appropriate.
They don't know my name. They don't know my screen name.
Anyhow.
And y'all ain't going to know my screen name either.
Anyhow, something that was also very impressive about the documentary, they had different incidents where children had observed these UFOs. And it wasn't just one or two kids. It was like schoolyard full. There was a sighting in America. There was one in Australia. And then there was a huge one that occurred in Zimbabwe. And that they
That's
went...
in Africa, right?
Uh-huh. And so they went back years later, and of course the kids are now adults, and their reactions to what happened then, it was incredible as far as... They were traumatized. And especially those kids there in Zimbabwe, because these reporters and all the paparazzi and stuff descended on these kids, grilling them. Here they are, little people...
Disgusting.
Trying to process this mind-blowing event, and just the facial patterns. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to say. They were scared. And so for those, now adults to recant that.
And their stories were still the same.
Well, yeah, because it was a group sighting.
It was a really good documentary, though.
Yeah.
It really was.
There was this gentleman, his name was Coleman, that was from Project Blue Book, that was interviewed. It was great because they included photos, documents, even as far as broadcast and interviews that were from the 40s on up. If the people had already died, they discussed, they interviewed family members. This was done in a very respectful, informative way. It's everything that the other one was not, but could have been.
It was trying, but it was just not up to the caliber.
Now, they did say, as far as even with Bob Lazar, where
How bizarre.
he was talking about how that the UFOs, that they would lift up and then that they would turn on their side and fly. Mm-hmm. And there are photographs that absolutely prove what he was saying.
Yeah.
And this was, this was not a collaboration between Lazar and some of these other people.
No.
The one little guy had taken a Polaroid of one of the craft and that he had kept it, and I'm glad that he did. And it was amazing to see these things. It was amazing to hear how some of these other photographs came into being. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like that one family. It was just a farmer and his wife, and when they saw these crafts, the guy had grabbed his little camera, and I actually should have used that because that was the one on the I Want to Believe Fox Mulder poster.
Yeah.
It was this guy that took that photograph.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
The fact that they used it in a show, that's pretty damn significant.
Sure. So.
Influence pop culture.
Yeah. Really did. Now, the one thing that bothered me greatly about the documentary and that made me question the purpose of it, of the whole thing, was the government calling for disclosure. And who, the people that were interviewed that were calling for disclosure, such as Gerald Ford, God love him, he just, he got put in a bad position there. Those of you who did not live through Gerald Ford, God love him. But some of the other ones, as far as Bill Clinton calling for disclosure, and him referring to other people as underlings, I'm sorry, but I have extreme difficulty with just because somebody has a lower rank calling them an underling.
What about Skeksis? Can I be a Skeksis?
Probably. In today's time, absolutely. I have no doubt that you could become a Skeksis. Then there was Lawrence Rockefeller, that he was calling for disclosure. And now that one will make you do the double Spock eyebrow on that. It's like, what? Because anything that those people are involved in, it's like you know that there's another reason behind that. Mm-hmm. And then they interviewed John Podesta. And those of you who know. And my God, you could look at that man and it's just like you could almost see scales appearing on him. He's a lizard people. He is a lizard people. He is a lizard people. Then you had Dr. Jack Gibbons, that he's right in here with the, and then Harry Reid, and that supposedly Reid had gotten the Congress or whatever to donate millions to the Department of Defense to investigate UFOs. Supposedly. Now, do you really think that those millions got to do that?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
But that is worth to hear these people, to watch these people as they're being interviewed. That's worth taking the time to see this. And it says in 2017 is when the government disclosure began in earnest. And this was Luis Elizondo. I don't know, I'd screw that up. Elizondo. And he's interesting. I haven't listened to enough of his interviews and stuff to really make a determination whether he's, one of the good guys or not. But he was a former U.S. Army counterintelligence special agent. That would make you, sort of think anything came out of his mouth right there.
Yeah. And
former employee of the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and former director of the now defunct Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, which was a $22 million special access program initiated by the Defense Intelligence Agency. All that shit makes me not be able to speak worse. And that supposedly was in order to study unidentified aerial phenomenon programs associated with the release of the Pentagon UFO videos. So now he's out telling the public what he studied, what they found out. He's supposedly amongst the UFO community at this point.
Loves it.
I mean,
Loves it.
That I had never heard those words strung together before. Army counterintelligence special agent. Does that mean like he's chief amongst liars?
They played word association with it.
It's all psyops. It is, every damn bit of it is to break brains.
Yep.
To break spirits. To break nations. Yeah.
Loves it.
And then one of the people, and this guy is just cool. He's a cool individual, and that is Jacques Valet. And he is an internet pioneer, computer scientist, venture capitalist, author, ufologist, and astronomer.
He's a jack of all trades.
And now he himself sighted a UFO in 1955. I think he was like 82, so he probably maybe 84 right now.
Back in my day, I saw one.
He looks great. He looks great. He is a very elegant looking man. You would never think he was in his 80s.
Yeah, no, he doesn't act like it or look like it at all.
And just, he has studied all this phenomenon since then. The French character that was in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where they had the little scientists and stuff at the landing site, that little was based on him. So how cool was that?
That's pretty wicked.
So I have never heard anything negative about him, that he's any kind of disinformation. He seems like somebody who's just trying to find the truth.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then, like, it was concerning about the kids that witnessed the UFO there in Zimbabwe. As far as the aliens, they said that they gave them this telepathic message about humans harming the planet. Greta comes to mind. But it was also...
How old is she now?
She's 19 or 20. She's an adult, so
is she still on the radio? Is she still on?
Not as much.
She's pawn.
When she was up there doing the Rickroll, I'm like, oh God, really?
She was pawn. She was used.
She was used. She was very much used, which is a despicable thing.
And I'm sure she signed some sort of gag order or whatever, like that. Basically, she can't come out against them now.
You never know. You never know what they did to that kid. But the message that these children were told by these beings, supposedly, they also said that they felt like they had snapped out of a trance at the end of this experience. So it makes you wonder, is this some kind of mind control thing going on? We know that governments have been doing that for a long time.
Save the planet. Save the planet.
Well, and that's where you get into this. I'm trying to remember. Was it Agenda 21 or whatever it was, as far as depopulation and all this shit?
I don't know. The thing about that is, like with the kids, most kids who have experience with aliens, they forget it after a while.
Sometimes.
Or it's like sort of blocked out of their memory.
But some of the messages that are being spread, the ones that get the messages, that was one of the few where somebody was truly being told something like that.
Yeah, I understand that.
It just, they didn't go into the personal accounts like the Hills, was it Betty and Barney Hill?
Yeah.
And some of the other ones that have had those personal abduction stories, it was just about the overall phenomenon of UFOs.
When you said the Hills, I was like, the Hills have eyes.
No, that's a different one. But it was a really worthwhile documentary. So I do urge everyone to take the time to watch that.
Yes.
You might be able to find it other than Discovery Plus. I didn't look on Amazon Prime or anything like that. But
Yes,
yeah, The Phenomenon.
It's a good documentary.
It is a good documentary. It's very informative, and you can make up your own mind.
See, I actually like to watch documentaries and stuff like that more than movies.
I like both. I do.
ain't that
It
much of a
depends on
movie
what
person.
it is. You know.
Like, I'll watch movies once in a while, but I ain't much of a movie person.
Well, like I said, it depends on the mood. But the documentaries, I like those, especially when they're well done.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to have an agenda. That was the only part about the particular government people that they interviewed, and I'm like,
And they didn't really go that deep into it. It was just like, here's the information. Do what you will with it.
right.
That's what I like.
It was the government has been covering this up. Why?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now the government is trying to disclose all this. Why?
But they're doing it still in a very stealthy manner.
Well, it's called soft disclosure. I still think all this is going to culminate in Project Bluebeam as far as this deception of UFOs and aliens and all that stuff. We have the technology. I was speaking with someone today about this. We have the technology now to where that could be done. And it was just like these deep fakes. That's horrific.
Yeah. I mean, in movies, I think it would be good because you wouldn't really have to have an actor that's all that accurate to the person. And you could just put their face on
CGI.
it. But, like, yeah.
You know, you could do CGI. I think that probably in a lot of ways would be better
No.
than dealing with the prima donnas that's out there in Hollywood. Yeah, I would much rather.
CGI humans are still not there.
But they're close.
They're
getting
close, but they're still not there. We still got a long ways away with that sort of thing.
Well, part of it is because they don't give these artists enough time to do this properly. I've read quite a bit about some of the graphic artists, and especially in the film industry, they're overworked. They're pressed for time, and so that's the reason some of the product is not as good as they would like it to be.
Yeah.
You know? So I thoroughly, would I watch a CGI total movie with, some artist rendition of a main character? Hell yeah, I would. I would much rather do that than support some of these people that's batshit crazy out there in Hollywood. Which is most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the phenomenon did not have any hardcore one way or the other as far as is it so, is it not so. They let people make up their own mind on it. They just presented facts. Which was appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
So yeah, that's worth your time. You look like you get ready to say something.
No, I'm upset because the sun went down.
It's night. It happens.
Oh, I want full on day. I want full on sun. Now, damn it.
Well, I think you have to go
Although
to...
I do get to see the moon, and I'm happy about the moon.
I think you have to go to some of these other countries that they have like 6 months of day and 6 months of night.
Iceland.
Is that where they have that?
Sort of, yeah.
Well, I think they need lots of vitamin D during these 6 months of night. I couldn't deal with that. I would just hibernate. Which that
Bury myself in the snow. There we go.
Has nothing to do with UFOs. Nothing.
You know some of the legends over there.
That's Antarctica.
Have you read some of the things about Iceland?
Well, Iceland is, it has warm things, and in Greenland has ice. That they did that to try to throw people off. That was psyops from way back.
Exactly. So it goes right back into it.
Okay. That was a little bit of a stretch on that. But
now, damn it, if it makes sense in my mind, it will make sense in others.
Okay.
Y'all get it. Y'all get it.
So, if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, as far as these UFO and alien cover-ups, if you know about any of those things, if you've got local, regional, or family myths or legends, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address is always there in the description box, so you don't have to try to remember it. Know that you're loved.
Yes.
Know that somebody is appreciative that you're on the planet. And those of you who take the time to email us or even comment, that's great because... collective knowledge is a wonderful thing.
Collective consciousness.
Yeah. I mean, there's those of you out there, you all know things that we don't know, and we don't even know that we don't know. So when you share those with us, then the other people can know.
We don't know shit about shit.
That's it.
Teach us.
That is my wisdom.
If you take anything from this video, we don't know shit about shit.
That's it. And somebody could go, they've got the beginning of wisdom right there. So, you want to do your
sit in
thing?
the hole and just be like, I don't know shit, but I can shit in this. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good, eat a lovely soup.
We'll see you on the next cup.
Make you some dandelion fritters, seriously.
Yeah, he did that, and it was very good.
Oh, damn good. Like, if you have, make sure, don't spray them. Don't spray them. Let them grow and harvest. You got free food right there. You got free food.
Food's for us, food's for the bees. We'll see you on the next cup.
Bye.
Bye.